Hey, it's Monique from NowYou'reCooking.ca and I'm finally back with a new recipe video. Today we're making mint double chocolate chip cookies. Let's get started. For these cookies you'll need mint or peppermint extract, granulated sugar, packed brown sugar, all-purpose flour, 2 large eggs plus an egg yolk, I'll tell you why in a bit, cocoa powder. Now I use Dutch process, which is a bit more chocolatey and isn't as acidic as natural cocoa powder, but since we're using a bit of baking soda in this recipe, you could sub the natural kind. The co-stars here are the 2 types of chocolate chips. I have about half a cup of dark chocolate and 1.5 cups of green baking chips, but you could use mint flavored ones here to pack that extra minty punch. Our leaveners here are baking soda and baking powder. Don't forget the salt and unsalted butter at room temperature. My home is sometimes chilly, so room temperature butter isn't always possible. To soften butter quickly, I slice it up into small cubes and that usually does the trick. Add your sugars to your butter and mix at medium speed for about 2 minutes with an electric hand mixer. If your butter is still a bit difficult to mix because you refuse to pay the high heating costs, get your trusty rubber spatula to lend a helping hand. That's better. Once your batter is nice and creamy, crack in 2 eggs. By adding an extra yolk, it'll help give these mint double chocolate chip cookies a chewy center with an extra rich flavor. Add in a teaspoon of your mint extract and continue to mix for another minute or so until combined. In a separate bowl, whisk together the flour, cocoa powder, baking soda, and salt. Using 3 additions, gradually pour your dry ingredients into the bowl with your wet ingredients while mixing on low speed. Now it's important not to overmix your cookie dough batter once you add in the flour mixture, otherwise your cookies may become tough. So feel free to use a spatula or a wooden spoon for the entire recipe, but you'll definitely need the help of a spatula to scrape down the sides of the bowl and fold in your chocolate chips at the end. For this batch, I used a mixture of dark chocolate chips and green baking chips. If you want an extra minty flavor, then you could substitute chopped pieces of a mint chocolate bar, but I find the green color makes these cookies pop. Once you're done mixing, you'll need to cover and place the batter in the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes. This helps prevent the cookie dough from spreading too much once it's baked, but in this case it also helps improve the mint flavor and helps your cookie have a crisp edge with a chewy middle. In the meantime, preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit and line a baking tray with parchment paper. I learned this little trick by accident years ago when I didn't dry a pan properly. Adding a little water will help your parchment paper stick to the surface of your tray and not curl up over your cookies. Now the dough may be a bit hard when it comes out of the fridge, so you could let it come to room temperature for 5 minutes before you scoop it onto the baking sheet. You could lightly push it into the scoop to get 2 tablespoons worth of dough in each cookie. If you want a slightly flatter cookie, you could press down the tops a bit before you bake them. Bake these cookies for 10 to 12 minutes. Once you take them out of the oven, leave them on the tray for 5 minutes before transferring them to a wire rack to cool completely. If you're a fan of the mint chocolate combo, these mint double chocolate chip cookies are a nice change from the regular. Slightly crispy on the outside and chewy on the inside. This will make the perfect St. Patrick's Day, Christmas, or anytime treat. Thanks for watching. Make sure you head to NowYou'reCooking.ca for the full recipe with measurements. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and leave a comment down below. Until next time!